Hi, my name's Brandon Royval, and here's my UFC Flyweight rankings. As of right now, I'm putting myself as number one. I think I'm just the best everywhere in the division right now. I think I could outstrike every single person in the division. I think my jiu-jitsu slicker. I think I have the cardio to not only uphold 5 rounds, but surpass everybody. I think I'm super creative and more technical than all these dudes along the line. So I think just in terms of being the more dangerous, exciting, and all around styled and skilled fighter, I think I have it. Okay, I think Pantoja number two. I would give him some of the same like strengths. I think as far as technique goes, he definitely needs maybe a little more like work on the feet. I feel like he's a very unbalanced fighter. That being said, is he's super dangerous along those lines this whole entire time. So I think Pantoja stays dangerous the whole entire fight, and that'll also bring in my number third for the same exact thing is Brandon Moreno. I'll put Brandon Moreno as number three. I think he has not only does he usually has a cardio to uphold 5 rounds, but uh, he has all the skills. He has a good wrestling. He has good takedown defense. He has good jiu-jitsu, and he has pretty good boxing. I scored it four rounds for Pantoja. I was there live, and the whole fans like set was Moreno, but I still scored it 4 rounds for Pantoja. At number four, I'm gonna put Manel Kape. I think Manel Kape is super dangerous, super fun to watch, super technical. I think he has better IQ when it comes to striking compared to a lot of the division. And like I said, he sets up things the whole entire time. I'll say Mateus Nikolai for number five. And I'll say Mateus Nikolai because I know his offensive wrestling's good. Him and Cape have fought. Actually scored it for Nikolai. Um, but I could see why people think Cape won. It was a really close fight. I think Nikolai hits really hard, has pretty crisp boxing, had very good elusive footwork. Maybe not the most dangerous guy in the division, and that's why I ranked everybody higher than him so far. But still dangerous, still can hurt people, and still can finish the fight at any given moment. I think he has an all-around high skill set, and that'll bring in number six as Kai Car France. I think Kai Car France beat Amir Albazi, so I just couldn't rank Amir Albazi higher than him, to be completely honest. I think Kai Car France's skill set is limited as far as like he does not like he's primarily like a hard hitting boxer with good wrestling defense, but his cardio holds up really well, and he can keep the fight where he wants it. So if he wants to fight on the ground, he can keep or off the ground, he keeps the fight off the ground fairly well, and he showed that in the Askarov fight, like where he was just being dangerous and being able to manipulate the fight all around. Seven, I'll give number seven to Amir Albazi. And I'll give number seven to Amir Albazi because I still don't think Amir Albazi showed not only his true skill set, but showed out against the top level fighters. His only really high level fight was Kai Car France. And like some of the other fights he had against like Zumagulov and stuff, I thought he lost that fight. So there's a couple fights where I'm like, I don't even know if he won that really, but they're pretty close. But he's an all around good fighter. Like he can take it. He can he's okay on the feet and he's okay on the ground, and like all around, just he has a pretty high skill set. Oh, so for this one, I'm gonna go Muhamamd Mokaev for the next one. Muhamamd Mokaev is just a good ass wrestler. Like he's just a really good wrestler, and he shows that he's durable. He could take some pain, and he wants to win, man. And I think that comes a lot. Not only does he want to win, but I think he has a very high belief in himself, and I think that takes you a really long way, especially when you're young like him. And you haven't been proved to be defeated yet. So I think his belief in himself, his wrestling, and I assume he works really hard. So I assume he's going to probably go up and show a lot of higher skills within the next year. I bet he might run into his first loss or two pretty soon here, because I don't know where he's at compared to some of these other guys. I actually lost where he was at in line, but some of the next guys could be going up against, if he goes up against like any of the guys in front of him, like Amir Albazi, Kai Car France, and Mateus Nikolai or Kate there, or even Moreno. I saw him calling out Moreno. Moreno would destroy him, where he's at this point in time right now. But that doesn't mean the kid's not really good. I would say I like Sumudaerji. Sumudaerji's still lost against Matt Schnell, But I think Sumudaerji is super young. His skill set's sweet. I just really like watching him fight, to be completely honest. I think me and him have the highest finishing rate in the flyweight division. As far as like all of our wins, like are mostly finishes. So he's super dangerous, can finish a fight. He's super explosive and he's really quick. And I don't know where he's at with his injury or where he's going with his career right now, but it would be really cool to see him get back to it, you know? Because I think that kid's really good and he's pretty young. I'm pretty sure he's like 23 or 24. So he's been in the UFC for a very long time. Boom, 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 boom. I guess we'll have to go. I'll go Matt Schnell. Matt Snell has been consistently top 10 since he's been in like for the last years. And he's one of those other dudes like dangerous ground game. He can finish the fight anywhere. Dangerous ground game, really good on the feet, really technical. Yeah, I just think he's a very well-rounded fighter. Matt Snell is probably one of the most afraid I've ever been for a fight since I've been not only in the UFC, but just in general. I feel like I put that guy on a big pedestal, and I've always kind of looked up to his accolades and like his skill set and all that stuff. His jiu-jitsu is really good. His striking's like technical enough, you know, and he came forward when me and him fought, but normally he's kind of on the back foot. So I was just worried I was gonna walk into something and get like outstruck the whole entire time. And you know, I've been watching Matt Snell for a long time. I watched him when he was on that Cage show and stuff, and I remember thinking like that kid's gonna be a star, like all that stuff. I remember watching him through his whole entire come up and just kind of believing in him a lot. So it was one of those maybe like a pedestal thing, but also just like he's earned my respect by just watching him for years and what he's done and all that stuff. Allan Nascimento will probably crush everywhere in the top 5, I would say. All the guys that I have ranked at the bottom, except for like maybe there's like a few matchups where he can't get it to the ground. Even with the Ulanbekov fight, like I don't know, man. I score a lot of the fights for like jiu-jitsu guys who are throwing up submissions and stuff too, so it could be how I score fights sometimes. But it's like I thought he did really good in that fight. But I think he'd crush all these guys. I think Allan Nascimento would beat a lot of these dudes favorably for sure. So that's one of the guys that I like. There's a couple other kids, man. I like watching Josh Van fight a lot. Josh Van's super sweet to watch. It'd be cool watching him break some of the top levels. Tai Tatsuro, he's super young too. I feel like he's another like 22-year-old, 21-year-old that's just crushing the division. And you know, he's super quiet and humble, but it'd be cool to watch him climb up the rankings. And I can't think of anyone else. I'm fighting for the UFC Flyweight belt on December 16th, so stay tuned. And I want to give a big shout out to EAP Glass. EAP Glass has been sticking with me since I got signed to the UFC, and man, I couldn't have went this far without them for sure. So I appreciate them.